So hello everyone. Welcome to this exclusive episode of MSquare. Today we have with us Mr. Saikiran Appala, who's the founder of Scope, and as he says, that it's going to change the scenario of startups for the change makers itself. And it's one of the most intriguing concepts which we have come across, and one of the most I can say that it's going to be one of the most enthralling episodes of M Square as a podcast for all the entrepreneurs out there and for all the marketeers who are trying to help the entrepreneurs for them. And this is one of the most unique ideas which we are going to discuss about. And along in this journey, which we are going to take up for the next 45 minutes or so, we are also going to explore a little bit into the ideology on how Mr. Saikiran came up with this idea, how his journey has been, and how he tries to change the entire landscape for the change makers. So Saikiran, welcome to M Square. This is an exclusive episode which you're doing because the idea which you pitched to us when we were talking, we were so enthralled by the idea that we felt that a 15 to 20 minutes episode on this won't do justice for it. So it's an amazing opportunity to talk. And like, for everyone who is listening to this, let me just get it straight. He is just 18 years old. So we are not talking to some CEO of a company who's 35 and 40. He's just 18. So he's one of the risk takers. He's one of the people who move early, who try to move early, who try to make mistakes and learn from them. So this is going to be a really amazing episode where we are going to learn a lot about him. How an 18-year-old, if there are people who are listening to this at a young age, that there is no age, there is no time barrier for you to start. You can start anytime you want. So Saikiran, welcome to M Square. It's an thank you for giving us your time. So how are you, Saikiran? Like, how are you doing? And like, if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi Anurag, and I'm glad to be in this part of the podcast by M
Yeah.
Square.
Yes.
And I'm doing great actually today. It's been a busy day, and after I reached out to you, and we've been talking,
Yeah.
seeing how we are doing stuff. So I've been doing good, and as a teen entrepreneur, it's been quite exciting since I
Yeah.
became an entrepreneur. At a
Yes.
even I never saw myself at a young age as an entrepreneur. It's
So
quite
Saikiran,
exciting.
yeah, it must be a lot exciting because when a lot of people are trying to go through the hustle and bustle of which stream to choose after your 12th is done, after your schooling is done, way to go for what to choose for, you are here trying actually finding out the way on what you want to do and how do you want to move forward. So Saikiran, like as an 18-year-old, if I go back, like for me it must almost be around 8 to 9 years back in my life. So like when I was 18, there were a lot of thoughts going on, like how do I want to go about my life, what do I want to do, asking a lot of people on what can be a proper career path for me. And then like when I see you, and like then you have a sense of clarity about where do you want to go and how do you want to proceed. So how is this idea of becoming a teen, and or like this was something which you envisioned for yourself, that I want to become an entrepreneur at this early age, or like it happened along the way, and like how did it come about?
Okay, so it basically happened along the way. I never envisioned myself as an
Okay.
entrepreneur or anything.
Yeah.
I so my background is completely different. So I'm
Okay.
a sports person. So
Okay.
I've been a state level chess player. I've been into nationals for basketball. So I was mostly outdoors guy.
Okay.
But I've had experiences which taught me, and which has brought me into the entrepreneurship field.
Okay.
So, because entrepreneur is seen as, a very, what do you say, a broadened aspect of business.
Yes.
But
Yes.
if you see it very perfectly or precisely, entrepreneurs are change makers. They
Yep.
impact your life without you even knowing it.
Yes.
You take up any business idea and any service you're going to day to day and see that has an impact in your life. If I withdraw it, it's going to create an impact in your life.
True.
If you
True.
have it, it eases
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah. So yes, yes, like when you say that, and then how important part, like like playing chess is a very what do you say, an intellectual game, and like you have to, and like as for an entrepreneur, I guess it might be the same, and trying to understand which move is going to cause what kind of an impact, and to assess that impact. And then when you say like at an age of 18 to have that sense of maturity, to going forward, to understand which move of mine can be good for me or for the company, or the people who are involved with it, and which move can absolutely be lethal for me, my own self. And so how do you differentiate, how do you pro the ways and cons of any moves you're making, and like how do you consult with people, how does it go forward, like is it like a game of chess to you, or is it something else?
No, it is a game of chess, but in a much in a real version
Yeah,
completely,
true. Yes.
where actual people are at stake, the real people are at stake, and the numbers which are actually adding up, and your idea is the one which is the board game over there. Your
Yeah.
idea is the board basically on which you're playing.
Okay.
So it's a lot to take in at the very beginning. I never saw myself as an entrepreneur, as I told. I just
Okay.
saw
Yeah.
myself as a sports person.
Yes.
But when I saw the necessity of how we need to empower change makers, especially in the entrepreneur sector, how we
Okay.
need to actually support them,
Mm-hmm.
because in the current changing world where things are changing rapidly,
Yeah.
how entrepreneurs are actually fast tracking with the latest tech or latest service they can bring to customer in different sectors.
Yes.
But is there a service or a sector which can help entrepreneurs ease their journey? That was my question when I started off.
Okay. So yeah, so like that's a very important part when you say like the way technology is changing, the way new things are coming up, and it's very difficult to keep pace, and more difficult to find people who are actually interested and believe in your idea. It at the end of the day is just not about the monetary benefit, though it is about the profits and the losses you make. But at the end of the day, it's about the idea and someone believing in that idea. And I think Scope is a platform which will enable the people who believe in those ideas and the people who have those ideas connect with each other. And so in how did the idea of Scope came into your mind, and what was the first time when you thought, okay, I need to do something like this? Was it from a personal experience, like when you were going through this journey of yours, you felt, okay, this is something which I need to do, and this is something which is missing in the current ecosystem?
Okay. So the earlier version of me, if you will have to describe the earlier version of me in one sentence, jack of all, master of none. That was the
Okay.
earlier
Yeah.
version.
Yes. Yes.
So I was into everything. I had achievements in various things, from technology to science to sports. So I
Yeah.
was quite diversified.
Okay.
But one thing which I observed was people who have caliber or potential either have to wait for a moment, or have to wait for an event to happen, or
Okay.
they have to wait for that stage presence
Yeah.
to come across them.
Yeah.
So that was actually quite, that looked quite peculiar to me, because I
Okay.
was like, we have the current latest tech, we have
Mm-hmm.
the best of the systems, the best of the technology we have the best people right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So we are in the top standards in all sectors. So, and yet, if people are actually waiting for an opportunity, then I was like, let's build a platform which can actually cater to opportunities. So I never started off, I need to build a platform for opportunities for entrepreneurs itself.
Okay.
But I started off with the idea that let's create a platform where opportunity is a thing.
Okay.
So where people don't have to actually wait for for opportunity to come,
Okay.
but if you are ready to grasp an opportunity, come on the platform, start networking.
That's a very unique take, I would say, to the problem which is existing, because people they either wait or they think they're not ready, and then to have a platform where they can actually come up with people who are like-minded, I would say, or who have the potential to help you out, and who have the interest like to helping you out, rather than only the monetary benefit which they can see out of your idea. Because there are many people who want to help such people who have an idea, because they feel, okay, that this is something which I cannot do. What I can do is like help someone who has that idea. And then there are people who need that help to actually to have the idea but do not have the help, to like to bridge that gap between two I would say the polar opposites. That's a wonderful concept, I would say. So Saikiran, I just wanted to ask you, so there are a lot of people who are very hesitant to get their ideas across, and so how do you remove that hesitation? Like you might have had that same hesitation too in the past. So how do you go about it? How can it be removed, and how can people actually address this question?
So basically, what people see as entrepreneurship as a big scale, full fledged company where they unite employees, office, investors, money, all these
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah, true.
But and families also get insecure regarding that aspect, and they are
Yes.
quite tensed about entrepreneurship. So what I would just suggest is, entrepreneurship is not just office employees, money, and all that.
Okay.
What do you do when you have a really huge word to pronounce? What do you do?
Okay. We break it down into simple parts and try to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you do with the entrepreneurship journey. So
Yeah.
you break it down into simpler aspects. So how do you break it down? At the very beginning, you just need to start off, jot down your idea, write it down, and
Okay.
then validate it.
Yeah.
So even I'm still a teenager. I needed to convince my parents that I want to go full fledged in it. So how did I
Yeah.
convince them? So I basically broke down the journey into smaller aspects, and
Okay.
I first jotted down my idea. I validated it as much as I can,
Okay.
and then I showed them the scope over here for how
Yeah.
much it can grow.
Okay. Yeah. True.
So everyone don't look at the whole big picture, break it down into smaller pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll become more accepting towards it. It's like a
Yeah.
job.
True.
Risks are everywhere. It's not just
Yeah.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Everywhere there's a risk.
Yeah.
So you break it down into smaller pictures, right? Even in job, you see the positive aspect. So in entrepreneurship, see the positive aspect. Break it down into
True.
smaller pictures.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Entrepreneurship will also look like other profession.
Yeah. That's a very nice way you have put it up, and that's the examples which as we have been talking about, the examples which you use are so down to earth and are so on the root level that how do you take a word, and I would have never thought of this to this scenario, and I'm telling you that I'm going to use this a lot, that how do you pronounce it and how do you break it into different words and how do you go about it. And I think that's the kind of problem solving approach which you have, and that really helps you out, I think. And I think that's a year long progress which you have had as your journey on an entrepreneurship, and how to break down bigger problems into smaller ones and to have it actually do good for you. And I have learned a lot from you, and the biggest key takeaway I'm going to take away from this discussion of ours is like, don't look at the problem as a whole, look at the problem on a very root level, break it down into simpler terms. And if you look into your past, then you can find various examples where you might have solved some similar scenarios, but with not that added up pressure which you have at this current time. With lesser pressure, you tend to find better solutions. So yeah, Saikran, that's a really wonderful take into it. So Saikran, how has been your journey, as in, like, as you mentioned that it was something which you felt the need, that this the a need existed for this platform. So how has you been your journey? Because whenever you try to bring something new, there are a lot of naysayers, okay, who will try to bring up the fact, okay, that this cannot be done, this is tough, okay, why you're doing this, you should go get a good college at your age, I'm saying. So like, you should go get into a good college, have a good degree, get a good job. Why are you wasting your precious years in this sort of a field? How has it been? Like, what were the major challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them?
So the at the very beginning, what I can say is at the very beginning, the biggest naysayer was me myself.
Okay.
I when I
Yeah.
so in the entrepreneur sector, or in not even entrepreneur sector, in general people's aspect, when you come across an idea, we have the sense of feeling that it's somebody smarter might have already come
Yeah.
up with an
True.
idea, but
True.
I was like, I have always underestimated myself at the very beginning, and I was like, okay, if somebody has come out, then solution would be visible to me.
True.
If it's
True.
not visible to me,
Yeah.
then there is still a scope for improvement.
Yeah.
So I
That's
was
how you
like,
plug in
okay, if
scope the
somebody,
name. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So there's always scope for improvement. So I was like, okay, if somebody might have come out also, I don't mind, but I have nothing to lose if I give it a try.
Yes. Yeah.
So I follow this. I have this quote quite perfectly. It's like I either win or I learn, but I never lose.
True. That's so true.
So exactly. So I'll take the experience. I'll take the leap of faith for my idea. So I'm either going to win with that, or I'm going to learn
Yeah.
with my experience.
Learn
So
from it.
anything I'm taking.
Yeah.
So
You're
that's
not.
the biggest. Yeah.
You're
So that
not
was the
losing at
first
the end of the
obstacle I
day.
needed
Yeah.
to.
So
Exactly. So that's the first obstacle.
yeah. Then that's a very tough thing, to convince yourself that what you're going to do is actually going to change someone's life or actually going to help someone out, and to have that faith in yourself. This reminds me of two things which I have always firmly believed in. First one was a quote by Steve Jobs, that this world is designed by people none smarter than you. So you all are equally smart. Yeah. And then the second thing is like, there's one very famous quote which goes around, that while everybody was scared of me, of my potential, in a room I was sitting, and I was there self-doubting myself that whether I'm good enough or not. So yeah, these are the two things when you say that part, that okay, this is something I've been going through, like, in a personal life that I was doubting myself and how to move forward. So what was that one thing which propelled you to come over that self doubt, that okay, this is something which has not been done before, even if it has been done before, I can do it better. So what was that one thing which literally turned that self doubt into the kind of confidence which you have today?
So it's simple. It's your passion towards the idea.
Okay.
My passion towards solving the problem was so much that I was I then underestimating myself seemed as a very small problem.
Okay.
It was so if your willpower towards solving the problem is bigger than
Yeah.
actual problem, then your actual problem is of no use.
Yes.
You'll develop it.
True.
So even let's say if you want to develop a just example, if you want to develop a search engine, so your biggest competitor is Google, obviously.
Yeah.
But if your passion towards developing it is so much, who knows, you might beat Google.
Yeah. True.
So just do not underestimate yourself at the very
Yeah.
beginning. It's a very initial
Yes.
stage.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I understand the fact that how you overcame it. Like, the will to move forward is much more stronger than the actual problem which exists, and that's a very important thing. And because a lot of people do not have that faith in themselves, and faith is a very strong word to be used, and faith is very important for someone who's trying to do something which has not been done before, or who's trying to wander into a path which is not taken by not a lot of people. Because if you're going to take a path which is taken up by many people, you have lots of people who can help you out around the way. And as I think Kunal Shah recently tweeted, that the most fun thing about entrepreneur is there is nobody who's going to tell you, there is no one who's going to actually question you what you're doing. But the riskiest part is that there are a lot of people who know what to do. So you do not have reference points to cater to, and you have to literally figure it out by yourself. So how difficult it has been as an entrepreneurial journey of yours has progressed, and how you have figured the bits and pieces, and this, it's like a puzzle, and then you find different bits and pieces of this puzzle, and you try to put it in a single picture, and you try to make it and make sense out of it. So how you have done it, and is there a proper framework which you follow to to come towards a solution for a problem which exists, and how do you go forward about it?
So honestly, as I told, it's like chess. There's
Yeah.
no proper framework. You have various methods to address a problem. So, and at the very beginning, I never knew how to incorporate a company. I never knew even, what do you say, what are the term, break even point, profit margins.
Yeah.
I never knew all
Okay.
those.
Yes. Yes.
So I never really understood all those. But, and if you have to search for a mentor, like in specific entrepreneurship, I reached out to many people, but they had already priorities. So I had to figure out my way. There were quite seminars they were
Mm-hmm.
conducting. Every week there was a seminar where you could learn. So every
Okay.
week, daily, day and night, I used to connect with people, business mentors. Even if I could take away 1%, I would go in.
Okay.
So it's more like in entrepreneurship. What I understood, it is more like your willingness to learn.
Okay. Yeah.
Do not
True.
expect a straight arrow always.
Yeah. So.
So it can come anyhow,
Yeah.
anytime. You just need to be ready to learn and
Yeah.
figure out your way. It's like trial and error. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. When you make a mistake, when you make a mistake, it
Yeah.
will open a new path for you.
True. Yeah. Because that will give you another chance to learn what not works and what works and not. And as
Exactly.
you said, either you win or either you learn. You never lose. So at the end of the day, it's just all lessons which we are trying to incorporate. And it's not like, right, as when you mentioned that you have taken seminars and all, and then it brings me to a very debatable and a very controversial topic of what the education system does for an entrepreneur like you. So and then this is one more take which I would like to present, that if you take the orthodox route, where you go to a college, where you take an education, where you get a job or whatever you're doing, I'm not saying that's bad. For a lot of us, like, that works like a charm, but not for everybody, right? That's like 80% people are going to be happy with it, and that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, and so when you go onto that path, it's not guaranteed that you're not going to make a mistake, right? But those mistakes are taken as mistakes. But whereas if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, and if you make a mistake there, it's almost a cardinal sin which you should not commit. And so what is your take on it? Like, how do you feel the current education system is it very entrepreneur friendly, on what stage it is, and how it can be improved, if you have any suggestions for that?
So, first of all, I would like to tell you what you have asked is a brilliant question right now. That
Okay.
in a normal way, if we tell
Yeah.
if in a normal way, if you commit a mistake, it's just a mistake. Everybody's going to take it
Yes.
for it's a mistake. You can work on it. But in an
Yeah.
entrepreneur field, when you commit a mistake, everybody looks at that mistake from magnifying lenses, and they're
Yes.
like, "Oh
Yes.
my
Yes.
God, you made a
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah.
How can you?"
Yeah. You're not
So
supposed to. You're so perfect. Like it's almost like
yeah,
that.
you're so perfect. How can you make a mistake? After all, even the entrepreneur sitting on the other side is a human. We
Yeah.
forget that fact.
True.
So in an entrepreneur field, everything is expected perfect, but the you need to be. What I can say is the current education system needs to be more accepting. It is good. It is good. What I can say, but it needs to open up its what do you say? Open up its horizon towards giving that free will towards the entrepreneurship. Because
Yes.
I started my journey as an entrepreneur during my
Yeah.
10th boards.
Okay. Okay. That's
So
quite
during my
amazing.
10th
Yeah.
boards, I started 10th boards and it continued to 11th and 12th during the pandemic while the boards were,
Yeah.
shifting. And I was studying in a residential school in Rajasthan. And
Okay.
I live in Hyderabad, but I studied in a residential school in
Okay.
Rajasthan.
Okay. Okay.
So it was so much to work upon. But luckily, my teachers understood what I was working on. My school did understand
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
working on. And they gave me as much as leniency as possible. They gave me a lot of, lab access time. They gave me, whenever I had to attend a meeting, they gave me, you can go and attend the meeting. If I
Okay.
had to catch up, the teachers would sit separately with me and, revise the lessons.
Yeah.
So we just need to be more accepting and friendly towards it and encourage, the students to just not academic, but see the real life problems. Because once we go just too academic,
Yeah.
then when we come into the real world, it hits too hard.
It hits too hard. That's true. That's true. Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it,
no,
it
it's just totally opposite. Okay, in a school where you're a very safe environment, very secured environment, and everybody cares for you. Yeah, they cover up for your mistakes. They take up your back. But in the real world, people wait for you to make mistakes so that they can use it as an
mistakes.
opportunity for them, like a stepping stone for them. Okay, so it's not like
Mhm.
you're not in a safe environment. You're in a very cutthroat environment, and it holds true for everybody. Be an entrepreneur, be someone who's doing a job in any scenario, in a government job too.
Any
It's not
scenario.
like it's not a secure environment, right? You are going to make a mistake, somebody is going to use it for their own advantage, and you've got to live with it. You cannot do anything about it. And if you're a good person, you cannot do it to someone else, and then you start feeling bad about yourself. And there is nothing to feel bad about it, because that's how the real world works. And the bigger shark
Yes.
tries to consume the smaller shark. It's just upon the smaller shark how it can survive and move forward and create a way for yourself. So as you mentioned that your teachers have been really accommodating of your request, and like they were very much up front and free to you on allowing you lab access, as you said. So and that's a very cultivating environment, right? I mean, like it gives you the belief that there is someone who believes in me, and the kid at a young age needs that. They need that support. Okay, what I'm doing
Yes.
is correct, because you're not aware of the world. At an age 30, you have seen enough world, and you know what is good, what is bad, and like how things work. But at an age of 15, 16, 14, you do not have that access. It's the first time you go out of home. In your case, you were in a residential school. First time you're going out of home, you do not know how the world outside works when people do not love you. In fact, some of them are jealous, most of them are hating you.
Yes.
So it's very important for them to have someone believe in them, to to nurture that idea which you have. And so if I have to ask you, this brings me to a question. If I have to ask you that what are the things which can be done in order to as nowadays, as you've seen, there are a large number of unicorns coming up in India. I mean, like, and they're nurturing
Mhm.
there are a lot of coming up, and most of them are from IITs. Like, the students are from IITs. And then the reason is behind that is that because there the ideas are taken care of, the ideas are nurtured. I'm not saying that the people there are not brilliant. They're obviously very hardworking, they're obviously very intelligent, they're brilliant. But it's also the sort of help which they get from their professors, or the sort of facilities which are there. So what are the things which you feel can be done to the education system so that it can be started at a very early age?
So that's the exact point. As you brought up IIT or any system, as you
Yeah.
brought right now, you need to have a perfect balance. What you need to
Yes.
create is don't create it too academic. The student will go numb when he hits the real world.
Yeah.
And you need to show them what the real world is. You already have a very controlled environment. In that controlled environment, It's if I have to picture it in your mind, let me picture it in your mind. A parent is actually helping you cycle on a two-wheeler bicycle. He's teaching you two-wheeler.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're riding it in the real world, but whereas they're holding it from behind. So
Yes.
that's how the school need to function. They need to let you drive it, but they need to hold it behind so that they can take hold you to safety. So when you fall,
Yeah.
they're there to hold you.
Yeah,
So what
true.
they need to do is they don't need to do much. They just need to encourage the free thought process among students.
Okay.
Not only just academic. Ask daily. Just go to, daily when a teacher goes to the class, when you have an attendance
Mm-hmm.
roll call, just ask. So, what do you think what problems are you facing? That's the
Okay.
basic. So, are
Yeah,
you facing
yeah.
any problems? Just start off that.
True.
So, when a student shares their problem, the whole class, including the teacher, discuss. Okay, how can we solve that problem? So that there you're becoming a problem
True.
solver. So you're
Yeah,
you're having
yeah.
you're inculcating an entrepreneur's type of
Yes.
mindset,
Yes.
solving a problem. So those are the stepping stones which you take and grow about it. And when a child is taking two of a daring step of going into the big leagues,
Mm-hmm.
support him as much as possible. Not even a child, any person. Support them
Okay.
as much as possible.
That's
That's the
so true.
basic thing.
Yeah. Then the example you gave, right? Riding a bicycle and a parent holding it from behind, and the kid has the. You have to basically, as you say, cultivate the confidence in them that if I am the sole driver of this whole chariot, then I can do it. Then I can do it. You need not tell me that you are supporting me from behind. Once I have that confidence that I am the one doing it, at the end of the day, when I have to do it, I'll go out and do it. And this reminds me of a very similar scenario when MS Dhoni left his captaincy in cricket, and then how he literally hand-holded Virat in the beginning, and then he slowly left it off. You have to know when to leave. That you cannot keep it holding always, and you cannot hold it very dearly and closely to you, because at the end of the day, you have to let the
Yes.
other person live and thrive on their own. You cannot just keep them up with you all the time. So as you mentioned, that's the kind of environment, and the very nice example when you mentioned that somebody is having a problem, they stand up in class, and then they speak about it. The problem which comes here is people are not trying. They are very scared of letting other people know that they have a problem, in fact, and that's the root cause of not being able to find a solution. And I think that's where
Now,
scope comes into picture.
now that's the second thing we come across.
Yeah.
The second topic we're going to come across, that it is not bad. It's not bad or wrong, or what do you say, undermining yourself when you ask for
Yes.
help. Everyone does. It's not wrong to ask for help. What's
True.
the difference when you are asking your parents for help you ask your parents for help every day. You might ask your brother or sister for help any day.
Hmm.
You might ask your friends every help for any day. But if you become an entrepreneur and you ask for help, that becomes a bit, the people see from a different picture.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
I'm just a person. Why not
Yes.
ask for help? Help is all I ask.
Yes, true.
So what we need to tell people is just be more accepting in how you see. It's not wrong to ask for help. It's not wrong. It's not, what do you say? Everybody is or was in a position, where
Yeah,
they needed help.
true. And then,
So
yeah.
always, so whenever you see a person in a problem, the least you can do is hear them out for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
that,
need to go full scale.
yeah, and that adds a lot of impact on the other person, that there is someone I can reach out to, in case I need some help. And as an entrepreneur, it's very normal that at times you will not have a solution to a problem, and you will reach out to help, and then to have someone actually helping you out with their heart out, it adds value to you, and really adds value to the work you're doing. So, like, this brings me to the point that how does scope help out an entrepreneur or a person who start trying to start something new, and when they are in a problem, and how does the whole ecosystem of scope works? If you can just tell us about it a bit.
So basically, the Scope's tagline is connect, collaborate, and create.
Okay.
So what we are doing is we are creating as safe environment as possible for entrepreneurs, investors, mentors, or
Okay.
collaborators
Hmm.
to share their ideas, connect with the people who can complement them or add value to their idea,
Okay. Okay.
and we ensure to keep their ideas safe while they're discussing it. Because in entrepreneur sector, what we do is in entrepreneur sector, The major problem is people are scared to share their ideas because it might get stolen.
Okay, yes,
But
true.
yes, so that's why many people are afraid to share it or even talk about it, and the
Hmm.
idea just stays as an idea.
Okay, yeah.
But second aspect which you need to focus is no matter who steals your idea, whoever steals your idea, they can't copy your execution style. That
Yes,
nobody
true.
can.
Yeah, yeah, nobody can do that.
But
True.
but for comforting people, just to encourage them to think out of the box, you can do it. We build a system in Scope where the ideas stay protected. So if anybody's collaborating with them, we ensure utmost security to the ideas stay between those two users.
Okay,
So the other person cannot copy the idea. So
okay.
that's a system which we included.
Yeah. So,
So
Saikiran, this like it's a very unique thing which I'm hearing for the first time that you are going to safeguard an idea. I just want to know how do you safeguard the idea? Like, what is the process and like what you are incorporating to ensure that the idea does not get stolen?
we basically have taken legal measures for that. So
Okay.
whatever the basic legal documents like your NDAs
Mm-hmm.
are taken are designed with utmost priority because we want them
Okay.
to function across the
Yes. Yes.
globe.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
let's say I am sitting in India
Mm-hmm.
and you're sitting in, let's say, California, let's say,
Okay. Okay.
okay, and I want to collaborate with you.
True.
We have designed the document with consultation of lawyers, different
Okay.
lawyers. We have
Yeah.
gone through it, we have vetted it out,
Mm-hmm.
and we are just putting it up so that, if I'm sharing an idea with you,
Okay.
that contract is ironclad.
That contract is I missed you out.
The contract is ironclad. It
Okay.
cannot
Okay.
be
Okay.
broken.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is mentioned to its utmost security that we keep it with safety. So
Okay.
the user will stay free. Once he shares the idea, he doesn't need to worry that, oh my god, the idea is going to get stolen. Oh my god, the
Okay.
person has heard my idea. I don't want him or her to be in that fear.
Okay.
I need
True.
them to enjoy that journey.
Hmm. That's a wonderful thing, I must say, Saikiran. And like, this is something which was the need of the hour, I would say. And I think it, as they say, timing. It's about timing. And the end of the day, it's all about timing of the of your product, of your idea, of your work which you're doing, and you create your own timing. And I think this is the need of the hour because so many people are now trying to embrace the entrepreneur journey. And with this platform in place, it can actually help a lot of people out, to create that kind of environment, to create that kind of uh, trust in the other person, and to create that kind of faith in the whole ecosystem which you are trying to create. And it's a really wonderful thing to have this thing and to comfort, because the people who are having the ideas, they have a lots of ideas, and the only thing which holds them back is the fear of them getting stolen. Because then the other person, if somebody has money, they can make full use of it, right? The people with money do not have ideas, and the people with ideas do not have money. And ideas can be stolen, and it's very difficult. And like, as you like in the other case, if somebody steals someone's money, there's a whole lot of things in place, laws in place to protect the money, right? But there is no such thing for the idea. And to do that, I think it really deserves a round of applause for the work which is there, and take care of the change makers, as you say. And I think it was very evident from the kind of examples you have given that your company mostly cares about the people from the basic roots, right? It has taken most of the things which happens on are in the air. Like, most of the companies which are functioning are in the air, they are not taking care of the roots. And as you said, like, you want someone to help, like a teacher, like a parent holding the bicycle, like a teacher who's there in a classroom. So it all starts from a basic, very basic. The foundation is very strong. And I think that's what comes from, when you're 17 and 18-year-old, you look at things from a very normal sense, scene, like a lens of glass. For us, if you'd say, we have seen a lot of things, and sometimes not seeing a lot of things helps a lot, because it gives you that focus, it gives you that kind of precision which you need for having a product. And I must say that if I had this idea long back, it would have been really nice. But it's really nice, talking to you on these topics. And Saikiran, as we have been discussing about Scope and how it is trying to empower both the change makers and the people who want to help the change makers. So if you have to and you say the three C's of Scope which are there, and so how does the three C's came across, and what is the idea and the significance behind those three C's?
So the significance between the three C's. So the three C's basically came across with the struggles I had.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So So connect. It was tough for me to connect with anyone.
Okay.
I used to send out a lot of invites. I used to send out, I need to connect. I need to, talk.
True.
I needed help in connecting just to learn.
Hmm.
So, but that was going about tough. So I was like, okay, this is connect because people need to connect easy. And I'll just
Yeah.
share you one big irony before I go into
Yeah.
the three
Yeah.
C's. The biggest joke of all is I did not have any social media account, not
Okay.
even WhatsApp
Oh,
until
okay.
I was in 11th.
Oh my God! Like at this in this current scenario, that's like quite a later stage to be on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Yes, I did not have my phone. I only got my phone when I was in my residential, when I went to residential school. And there my friends made my social media account. So until then,
Okay.
I never knew the power of social media account. What
Okay.
is
Okay. Yeah.
social networking site? I never knew the
Yeah.
power of it.
Okay. Okay.
But once I started using it, I understood social media is like a knife. It can harm a person, but can cut an apple as well.
Yes. True. True.
So it depends on how you use it. And when I understood the power of social media, social networking, I was like, okay, I was quite intrigued by it. So
Hmm.
when you're not on a social media platform or on any
Yeah.
networking platform
Yeah.
for such a long time, you have a complete different perspective towards it.
True.
So what let's take Instagram for sake.
Hmm.
Instagram is a social networking platform. So
Okay.
it
Yeah.
is just for everyone to come up, meet, and enjoy.
Yes.
Just be
Yes.
a part. Just look into everyone's life,
Yeah. Yeah.
how they're doing, how they are, share their moments and everything. And come into LinkedIn now. It's a professional networking site. Now you just see how a professional journey of a person is over there.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, social media does have a lot of power. So I just need to channelize it to the right direction. And as you were mentioning, we basically trying to strengthen the roots. How much of a bigger foundation we have, fancier it may be, or
Yeah.
anything. If the roots are not solid, then it's useless.
Yes. Yes. True.
So I might build it skyscraper, but if my foundation is not right, then it's gonna
It's
collapse for
going to
sure.
fall. Yeah.
So I need to. So that's why we focus. I need to see from the root up. I can't just straight away go to a top-notch thing, but I need to
Yeah.
see from the root up.
Yes.
So how I can empower people at a very early stage.
True.
So empowering is not just about monetary aspect or invest or anything. How I can help them out just to take a peek into the world they're
Okay.
about to enter.
Yeah.
So that's why we build the connect part where they can connect with people who are already in the world. They can
Okay.
connect with people who will be investing in them once you come into the world and your
Yes.
idea is
Yes.
great.
Yes. True.
And the people who will be guiding them when you're into the world.
Yeah.
So take a
Yeah.
sneak peek. So that's the first connect we are going to come across.
Yeah. Okay.
The second one, when we come across, is connect, collaborate. Once you've come into the world, no journey can be done alone. You
Yeah.
can never do a journey alone. You need
Yes.
someone or the other in your journey along with you.
Yes. Yes. True.
So in your idea, there's always a necessity that there'll always be a person who can complement your idea, who can add value to your idea.
Hmm.
So that's a networking platform. Get your
Yeah.
idea on board, come up. There's a variety of people with different domain expertise. Connect with them.
Yeah.
And if you both like the idea, collaborate. And I had nobody to collaborate at the very beginning. As a
Okay.
student entrepreneur, as a single
Yeah.
entrepreneur, that too, it
Yeah.
was really tough for me because I wanted to collaborate with people. I definitely wanted to, but I couldn't find a perfect like-minded person. I did not
Okay.
have much option.
Okay.
So I was like, instead of waiting, I need to go alone because if I wait alone, there are a lot of people out there who might miss, and I don't want people to miss what they
Yes.
have at
True.
their
True.
best.
True. Yeah.
So I had to take the leap of faith alone. But I don't want people, to be alone in the journey. I want them to have options. I
Options.
want them to, find perfect people to
Yeah.
collaborate.
Yeah.
So that's why the second collaborate came into place and create. Once you have connected with right people, once you collaborate, you're creating a dream to
Yeah.
life. You're getting a dream to life,
Yes.
which will impact many people positively.
Yes. True.
And that's what I am doing. I'm
Yeah.
creating something which I want other people to feel empowered with.
Yeah.
So this was my, connect, collaborate, create is
Great.
basically my journey.
Yeah. And that's very nice, because see, and I feel a lot of difference when I'm speaking to you, and like when I read about people, some people just say it because it sounds very catchy, it sounds very, like that's the slogan of a company, that's how we want to go about it. But when it comes from your own journey, right, when it comes from the things which you have witnessed, when it comes from the things which you have gone through, it sounds completely different. Because when you say connect, collaborate, and create, you have a story, you told us one story each, but you have multiple stories attached to each of these words. These words mean to you, so when you attach them to your
Okay.
company, they add value. It's just not a marketing gimmick which you're trying to do. It's something which you actually went through, and that really adds value to it, Saikiran. And like, it's been really amazing things which I am learning at this stage. And like, as you are teaching a lot of things to a lot of people who are going to go forward in this direction. And now coming from this learning part which I just spoke, so how important do you feel this quality of learning is for an entrepreneur or someone doing a business? How important it is to, like, at times let your ego go aside. You might have achieved a lot, but you have to let your ego aside, because there is someone who's actually giving you something of value.
So over here, my dad and mom told me one important thing before I started on my journey with.
Yeah.
No matter how smart you think you are, there's
Yes.
always a person
Always
who's smarter out
smarter
there,
than you. Yes.
who's hardworking more than you out there, and who's much more talented than you.
Yes.
So if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're an entrepreneur or a business person, you need to keep learning daily.
Yeah.
There is no, there's no, what do you say, substitute to it. Because every day there's something new to discover. That's why that's the main thing I love about entrepreneurship. Every day is exciting to me. I learn
Okay.
something new.
Yes.
Before I go to bed, I learn something new and I go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's the most satisfactory thing to me when I
True.
do. So you always need to. If anybody's coming into entrepreneurship or they're doing ego backseat,
Yeah.
anybody you have something worth to learn, you have to wait for them. They're
Yeah.
going to teach you something valuable.
Yes.
And always be in a position to learn. No matter if I
Yeah.
wake you up 3 o'clock in the night,
Hmm.
and somebody's going to teach you, nice business crash course.
Yeah.
Sit
Take
up
it.
and get ready to learn.
Yeah, true. So, Saikiran, now, like, coming up, as we've been discussing for a long time now, and this comes to a point. This brings me to a point, like, as you're doing business discussions and you're trying to, bring in partners for yourself, bring in partners or bring in collaborators who are going to join the platform of Scope. How can someone, as I'm talking on both sides, as someone who has an idea, who's a potential change maker, how can they sign up to the platform? And someone who is, a potential investor in a change maker, how can they sign up for the platform, and what is the process, and how can they reach out to you? And if you can just tell us a little bit about the whole process.
So for here, what we basically do is we are launching the app Scope in your
Okay.
Android and iOS stores in this coming October. In the
Okay.
last week of October, we'll be launching. So you all can go to your Android stores and iOS stores and download it. And it's a very simple sign up. We're just going to ask you very couple of questions, 5 to 6 questions we'll be asking you.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
for your respective fields, whatever sector you choose. And
Okay.
then you sign up and you start networking. You
Okay.
have each feature in Scope. I will tell you this. I'll let you in on a very key insight. This is
Yeah.
not yet being
Okay.
revealed, but I'm going to reveal
Okay.
it to you.
Yeah. Sure. It's
Every
exclusive. Yeah.
feature in every feature in Scope is is specifically designed to the problems I faced and every
Okay.
entrepreneur faced.
Okay. Okay.
So each feature has been tested. So I've been working on this for 2 years. So each
Okay.
feature has been designed and tested for a very long time. So they're
Okay.
actual problem solvers. It's not just, I come up with an idea. We
Hmm.
tested them, and it's the solutions that I did not have to empower myself.
Okay.
I'm building those solutions so I can empower the rest of the people.
Yeah. Understood. So that's a very keen insight you have, and that these the features will all be based on the real world problems which people face. This is just not in the air. It's an app for the change makers from a change maker. So that's, if I have to put it out. And so if there is a potential investor who wants to invest in the ideas which these change makers are going to suggest, how can they sign up? Is it a different? They can sign up from the app, or how does it work?
They can sign up simply from the app. They don't have
Okay.
to. We don't want to make it a tedious process for everyone,
Okay.
having
Okay.
different variations.
Yeah.
So they can sign up. It's going to be a simple process. They can sign up from the app. They can view the ideas, and if they need special, if they need what do you say, special way for us to filter out their
Okay.
domain sectors. So an investor is into technology basically.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to invest in technology ideas, and they need our assistance to filter out the ideas.
Okay.
So then they can definitely reach us out. We have
Okay.
all the contact information within the app. They
Okay.
can reach us out and they can tell us that we need we need ideas to be sectored out. We would love to invest.
Okay.
Then we will definitely connect with them with the respective entrepreneurs, because we want investors and entrepreneurs and mentors to grow. That's our
True,
final
true.
agenda.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a very nice way to put it up, Cyclone, and really amazing, when we discussed about it. So in our lives, right, we all have people who have inspired us and who have brought a change in our lives in a way. So if I may ask you, like, if you can name three people who have changed your life, who have impacted a lot in your life, and like, see, I understand that the parents are number one. So apart from your family, if there is someone whom you look up to, and what is the quality of theirs which you really admire?
So, well, that's a very interesting question. So, apart from my parents, so my parents have definitely inspired me all through the
Yes.
way they supported me. And apart from my parents, my friends have actually,
Okay.
inspired me a lot.
Yeah.
Every Everyone has taught me one lesson really important. Each of my friends, they have told me, no matter a person might have 100 bad qualities, but they have that one good quality worth learning. So always keep
True.
learning.
True. 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 That's so true. Yeah.
So my friends have supported over there. And when I was running all about this, couple of my friends back in my residential school, they
Yeah.
supported me a lot. So I used to work midnights late. It was
Yeah.
quite late night, and
Okay.
sometimes I used to skip my meals, which I got scoldings as well from my
Okay.
parents.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my friends used to prepare food and everything in the hostel. So they taught me that never give up, no matter
Yeah.
how tough the situation
Situation
gets,
is, yes.
because it will never remain the same.
Yeah.
So one is my friends, definitely back in the residential school. So my
Hmm.
school's name is Birla School Pilani. So they were
Okay.
quite
Okay.
outstanding.
Okay. Yeah. And
And then the next person who has inspired me a lot is Kunal Shah.
okay. Yeah. Yes. True.
So he's the so well. I have always seen him and understood a lot of his points, and he's the most smartest person I've seen.
Yeah. No
And
doubt.
his one thing, if you're his one thing said, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
You're in the wrong room. Yeah.
Go change the room.
Yes.
So go to the next room. So he's the one person who I definitely look up to, and I really try
Yeah.
to work as hard as possible to
Yes.
be as good as him.
As good as him.
And the third thing which I always keep in mind is, this might seem a bit odd, but I'm just gonna give it. After having so many idols and everything, never let your idols get in the way of your imagination, because
True.
sometimes your
That's
imaginations
yes.
grow bigger than the idols.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So your idols just are there to motivate you.
Yes.
They don't become a
Yeah.
borderline for your imagination.
Yes, this reminds me of a very famous line from the Batman movie, right? Where Liam Neeson is talking to Bruce Wayne, that you look up to your ideals, and when Bruce asks him, "What do you do when your idols cannot stop you?" then he says, "Then you become a legend." So,
Exactly.
yes, true. So that's very important part, in which a lot of people, and I would, accept it, that at a time, earlier, like 4 5 years back, I was letting, like, I would have, if I had to do something, I would be like, okay, this is not something which my idol would do, and I should not do it. But then I realized, okay, maybe, as Steve Jobs famously said, that the world around you was designed by people who are none smarter than you. And then maybe I have some, maybe I can do something which others cannot, and I think I should, progress on that path. And that has helped me out. And to call that out, which you just called out, it's a very important thing. And as I mentioned, that we can sense the clarity of your mind from the examples you give, because it's easy to give big examples. It's very easy to catch up something which has happened in the past from someone big, but to actually look out things from a micro lens and to go to the roots of everything and to try and sort it out. Because I would have never envisioned the example of, the parent holding a bicycle, or a teacher, in a classroom trying to address the problem of a student. And those are the kind of examples which actually tell us that how, sorted, clearly sorted you are, how clean your ideas are, how precise you are, how focused you are, less like a horse who has blinds on, but he understands that, okay, there are certain things which can be done, and it's not like one in one direction brainlessly. You are applying your brains, you are applying the ideas, you're applying the concepts which needs to be applied, and then you're moving forward in the correct direction. And I think that's the kind of clarity we require from people who are young, trying to take up the entrepreneur journey, and who are embracing the hardships, who understand that there can be a lot of hardships, who understand that there can be a lot of, tough scenarios coming up. But it's all up to you, it's all up to the person who's going to take up the journey, and that you should not give up, because as you clearly said, that either you win or you learn, you never lose until and unless you refuse to get back up. So that's a very important part. And Saikiran, it's been amazing, this conversation with you, to understand your whole journey from the beginning, and how your school has been so accommodative and of your ideas, and how important it is for the schools to actually understand that every student needs to be nurtured differently. You cannot have a blanket rule for all of them. Somebody needs to sneak out of the blanket and want to see the outside world, because some people do not believe that you should only spread your legs as long as your bed sheet is. Somebody will have longer legs and they would want to reach out to other people, and that it's very important to, accommodate those talents in your current curriculum. And I think that your school has done a wonderful job, and that's why you have such clarity in your thoughts. And that really puts into perspective that how important it's the family, your friends, and the school, because that's your first line of knowledge gaining, or your academics, right? So Saikiran, it has been really amazing, talking with you on all these topics, and about the scope, your startup which is there, and how it is going to bridge the gap between the change makers and the people who want to invest in the change makers, and how it is based on things which you actually faced in your journey. So all the features on the apps are going to be exclusively for people, exclusively for the problems which people are facing in their real lives. So thank you so much, Saikiran. And like, as a parting thought, what would you like to tell the audience, what you would like to tell them as a parting thought for this?
Um, Stop thinking and start working.
Oh, that's so precise. Like, this is the thing I love about this whole conversation. It's been so precise. There is no much jargons being spoken about. Nothing much fancy marketing stuff being talking about. It's just straight points, straight up facts, and it's been really amazing. Saikiran, talking to you. Thank you so much for giving us your time and having you on the show.
Thank you, Anurag. Thank you for inviting me to the show, and
Yeah.
it's been a great conversation interacting with you as well.
And cut.